done things they never ever said they'd do. Its kind of trust is breaking down. Well, unbelievable. I've never seen a petition go this quickly. Let me ask you, do you think there should be a general election because of what Labour have?
What do farmers, working class citizens, and Elon Musk have in common? They're all part of the growing chorus demanding change in UK politics. Nigel Farage's petition has united unlikely allies against Keir Starmer's leadership. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now, back to the video. In this video, we'll break down the surprising coalition that's formed around this call for a general election. You'll discover why people from all walks of life are joining forces to challenge the status quo. In just 48 hours, Nigel Farage's petition calling for a general election amassed over 300,000 signatures. This isn't your run-of-the-mill political grumbling. To put it in perspective, most public petitions in the UK need 100,000 signatures to even be considered for debate in Parliament.
Last night, a petition was launched calling for a general election on the basis that Labour have broken promises. It's already on 750,000 signatures. Even Elon Musk has been talking about it.
Farage's petition blew past that benchmark like a bullet train, leaving political pundits scrambling to make sense of it all. The speed and scale of this petition's growth are unprecedented. It's as if the entire population of Cardiff decided to voice their frustration overnight. But what's truly remarkable is the diverse coalition of supporters. We're not just talking about Farage's usual base. Farmers, working class voters, and even tech mogul Elon Musk have thrown their weight behind this movement.
Done things they never ever said they'd do. Its kind of trust is breaking down. Well, unbelievable. I've never seen a petition go this quickly. Let me ask you, do you think there should be a general election because of what Labour have?
It's a political Frankenstein's monster stitched together from disparate parts of society, all united in their dissatisfaction with Keir Starmer's leadership. So what's got everyone so riled up? The grievances are piling up faster than unpaid bills during a cost of living crisis. There's a growing sense that Starmer's Labour Party has failed to deliver on key promises. Immigration control? Still a mess. Economic stability? More like economic vertigo. And don't even get pensioners started on the lack of support they've seen.
Most vulnerable group in our society. Pensioners, 10 million of them, who will be shivering in their homes, deciding whether or not to have a meal or to switch on the radiator. I don't think that's how they perceive pensioners.
Social media is ablaze with accusations of betrayal. One Twitter user summed it up. Starmer promised us the moon and delivered a piece of moldy cheese.
Of Hyacinth Bouquet from keeping up appearances in her posh end-of-terrace accommodation. I think when Labour imagine what a pensioner is, they don't think of someone living hand to mouth.
It's this sentiment of broken promises that's fueling the petition's success. People feel they've been sold a political bill of goods, and now they're demanding a refund in the form of a general election. The potential consequences of this petition are sending shockwaves through Westminster. Labour Party insiders are whispering about internal challenges to Starmer's leadership. The once unassailable fortress of his authority is starting to show cracks. Could we be witnessing the beginning of the end for Starmer's tenure as Labour leader?
Like the changes that we've made, I say the door is open and you can leave. That we're going to do the difficult things first. Then I think it's inevitable that people do feel their difficult decisions.
But here's the million-pound question. How did we get here? What perfect storm of political missteps and public disillusionment led to this crisis? To understand that, we need to take a closer look at Starmer's relationship with the working class. A relationship that's gone from rocky to downright toxic. Keir Starmer's strategy to win back the working class has backfired spectacularly. Picture John, a lifelong Labour voter from Nottingham, tearing up his party membership card in frustration. "I've voted Labour all my life," he says, his voice thick with emotion. "But Starmer's made me feel like a stranger in my own party." John's story isn't unique. It's a sentiment echoing across Britain's industrial heartlands, where Labour's traditional support base is crumbling. Starmer's grand plan to reconnect with working class voters has turned into a masterclass in political miscalculation. Take the handling of August's anti-migrant protests. Instead of addressing the concerns that sparked the demonstrations, Starmer's government labeled the protesters as extreme right-wing and arrested over 100 people. This heavy-handed approach left many feeling silenced and ignored, a far cry from Starmer's promises of migration control and public safety. But the missteps didn't stop there. Labor's tax reforms have hit a particularly sour note. The proposed taxation of private school tuition fees has sparked outrage, with critics arguing it could hurt middle and low-income families. The Iona School in Nottingham, a beacon of hope for many working-class parents, announced its closure due to these taxes. It's a bitter pill to swallow for families who saw these schools as a pathway to a better future for their children. The discontent is spreading like wildfire, and the numbers don't lie. Polling data shows a significant shift in working-class voter preferences, with many feeling alienated by Labor's recent policies. There's a growing perception that Starmer's government is out of touch with the struggles of ordinary citizens, particularly in rural areas. Speaking of rural areas, let's talk about the farmers. They're furious, and with good reason. Starmer's government introduced an inheritance tax on farms, a move seen as a direct attack on their livelihoods.
Backing up his facts about how many small farms would be affected by inheritance tax.
Farmers across the country are protesting, demanding action. Nigel Farage, ever the political opportunist, has thrown his support behind the agricultural community, further highlighting the disconnect between Starmer's promises and reality. The cracks in Starmer's leadership are starting to show. Labour Party members are voicing concerns about his policies, suggesting they've not only failed to resonate with the working class, but have also created internal dissent. The rapid mobilization of public sentiment against Starmer's government is staggering. A petition calling for his resignation gathered over 1 million signatures in just one day.
There would be plenty of people who didn't want us in the first place. So what I focus on is the decisions that I have to make.
Is it 2 million now?
It's now just over 2 million.
Do you feel the pressure?
Look, I remind myself that very many people didn't vote Labour at the last election.
A clear sign of a broader crisis of confidence. As the dust settles on this perfect storm of political blunders, one question remains. Can Starmer recover from these missteps, or has he irreparably damaged Labour's relationship with its core supporters? The answer may well determine the future of British politics. Keir Starmer's rapid fall from grace is a stark reminder of how quickly political fortunes can change. The Labour leader's missteps have created a perfect storm of public dissatisfaction. His handling of anti-migrant protests, controversial tax reforms, and alienation of rural communities have all contributed to his current predicament. The unprecedented success of Farage's petition shows just how deep this discontent runs. What does this mean for the future of the Labour Party? Can they recover from this setback, or will it lead to a fundamental shift in British politics? The coming weeks will be crucial in determining whether Starmer can regain public trust or if his leadership is beyond salvaging. This situation serves as a powerful reminder of the influence of public opinion in shaping political destinies. As one political commentator aptly noted, the petition is more than just a list of signatures. It's a statement that the public is ready for change and willing to fight for it. In an era of rapid communication and heightened political awareness, leaders ignore the will of the people at their perils.